Good morning, good morning, good morning, Gym Nation. So good to see you. Happy Saturday. I am using, there we go. I am using a different streaming service, not streaming service. I'm still using StreamYard, but on a different, uh, you know, it's not, it's not Chrome, it's Firefox. Hopefully this will work out better without any buffering and all that other stuff. But good morning, everyone. Today will be a quick live, and I promise you that I have gotten some rest, thank goodness. And I am going to get some exercise in, and then we have a snowstorm coming. So I need to take care of some things. And so, hi, Crystal. Good to see you. Missed you in our um membership, our membership meetup. It was so good. I hope you got the link to the replay. Hey, Lorenda, good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome, Gemstones. Welcome, Gym Nation. That's one of the reasons I was so tired yesterday. We went 4 hours and 15 minutes in our membership community on Thursday, but it was such a divine blessing. So many gems were dropped. We had a good old time, and we didn't finish till after midnight. I still had work to do. Long story short, uh, yesterday I needed to get some rest, and I would have been no good to nobody if I would have gone live yesterday. So, oh, you were there listening. Oh, good. Yeah, exactly. So Crystal's also on a detox. I'm on a detox as well. The first pimple, I don't know, and that usually happens. My first pimple, I don't get pimples at all, but my first pimple right there from the detox, which gives me peace knowing that it's doing what it needs to do. So anyway, today is going to, like I said, be a quickie. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comment section with the QQQ or the question mark, and I will get to you definitely before we get up out of here. But quickly, I just want to go over. or- So let me set it up. I have been seeing through my resources more and more people getting denied here in the United States for their Mexican residency application. And many of them, when you dig deeper, there's a reason why. And usually 9.999 times out of 10, it is their own fault. And so, what that equals up to for a lot of people is a waste of time, which is something you can never get back. It's a waste of money, and it's a hit on your ego, right? And sometimes people just give up there. And so, the goal and objective of this live today is to hopefully minimize whatever errors are happening so that if you are interested in getting approved for Mexican residency, and this can apply for residency anywhere, actually the top 5 reasons, but I don't want you to waste your time. And so today's topic is all about, avoiding potentially getting denied Mexican residency at a US consulate. And I'm going to go over the top 5 reasons that I am seeing that people are being denied or will have their visa. Okay, so Firefox isn't working either. It's StreamYard. So the 5 reasons why people are being denied or will have their Mexican residency visa applications denied. And so again, they're simple but often overlooked. And I'd have my little notepad so I could check off the, 5 reasons, and we're going to just get started. And I just want to quickly start with a little antidote and an introduction. Hey, everyone, I am Kim, aka Kim with the Gems. On this channel, we talk wellness, travel, and finances from a cultural point of view, from a cultural perspective. I am also someone who has her Mexican residency. I also consult with people to get their Mexican residency, amongst other things. And so through my social media platforms, which the handle is, if anyone wants to follow, Black Travel and Culture, our tagline is we do the research so you don't have to. And I do a lot of research on this topic. I have quite a few clients in different parts of the US that I help and handhold through the process. And my record as of today, and I've been consulting for since 2022, is a perfect 10. No one that has consulted with me that has applied for their residency has been denied. And so I just want to make this, you know, how to get started, how to get your ducks in a row so that you too will have the same type of results. And before I forget to ask, there's only a few people here, but if you're seeing this on the other side, go ahead, hit the like button for this video. It definitely helps the algorithm. You hear other YouTubers say it. It helps everyone, it helps more people see this information. Also, subscribe to the channel. You can find all types of resources about Mexican residency in our playlist on this channel, as well as share this with a friend, share this with someone that may be interested in getting residency, even if it's not Mexican residency. I do think these 5 areas will definitely help someone with their residency process. And so let's get into the top 5 reasons, y'all. It's the first one is with anything. We hear haste makes waste, right? Haste makes waste, and patience is a virtue. And what I am seeing time and time again, and I get it. Listen, people are flocking to these consulates because they are trying to get out of Dodge ASAP. And so a lot of people, the only thing they know is that they want to leave. They want to leave pronto. And they are not being strategic. They are being hasty, and they are not having the patience that it takes to make sure that your goal is achieved. Like, you may want to leave, but if you don't do the things that need to be done because you are just in such a rush to leave, then of course there's going to be I's that aren't dotted and T's that aren't crossed, right? And that's just like with anything. If you pack 10 minutes before you got to get to the airport and you don't already have a bag packed, you're going to leave some things because you were hasty. You didn't put the list together. You didn't check off the things from the list. You're going to leave your medicine. You're going to leave your sunglasses. You're going to leave your sunscreen. You're going to leave some things. And you may have some outfits, but you may forget the matching shoe, right? You may have one of the pair of shoe, right? And so yeah, so it's that type of mindset that are getting people denied. They are being way too hasty in the process. And a lot of people know that um when it comes to government and bureaucracy, right? You have to be over prepared. You have to be, and we say this in our community all the time. It's better to have and not need than to need and not have, versus the other way around, right? So it goes in line with the medicine. If you forget your medicine because you were hasty with your packing, um, then you may be in trouble, especially if you're planning to leave the country. And so, again, the goal here today is the goals are today is to have people avoid wasting time first, which is the most precious commodity, and second, wasting money, and so that they get approved. Number 2, let's quickly go into number two. Number two, people are relying on old and outdated information. The one thing about Mexican residency, and I'm sure this applies to many other countries, oh, their process is going to change year to year. And it's not going to be the entire process, but it's going to be that one thing that you did not pay attention to that will have you messed up during your interview or have you denied from getting, approved. And so people are looking at everything from old YouTube videos to old paperwork from a particular consulate here in the US, and they are not getting approved because they are not following the current directions. And whose fault is that? It's no one's fault but but their own. And also, I also noticed another thing when it comes to old and outdated information, and this also applies to haste makes waste. Please leave these 15-second shorts and 10-second shorts and 60-second shorts on any platform, rather it's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Don't let that be your guide to the process because you are getting limited information. I highly recommend long form videos, right? Meaning over 8 minutes at minimum to get through this information. But um it could be longer. Just make sure you pack your patience and you take your notes, but you also have to do your own homework. And so again, relying on old and outdated information will get you hemmed up every time. Let me just think of one of the items that will change from year to year or has changed. Well, number one, financial solvency requirements. Financial solvency requirements change from year to year. And so, if you are looking at a video from 2020 or 2021 or anything before 2025, which we're in right now, if you are looking at a dated video and basing all of your supporting documents off of that old video, then you're going to mess yourself up, especially if you don't meet the current and new requirements. And that's just one area. There are many, many more. That's just one area that I wanted to talk about. But there's also, excuse me, there's also, in addition to the what do you call it, the financial solvency, there are some consulates now that are requiring that you show that you have a place to live. Now, I have never heard this before. I must say that. This has not been a thing in the past, but as they get stricter and they start to try to buckle down on the influx of people trying to cross the border the other way, they are going to implement different ways to vet people. And one of the ways that they have started implementing is requiring that you show you have a place to stay when you go to Mexico. And I'll go over some of the comments that I've seen. Actually, let me just go over a couple right now what people are saying about um their experience at the consulates over the past couple of weeks. And I want everyone, again, to just dot their I's and cross their T's. And hopefully, it will lead you to success in this process. So I took a couple screenshots yesterday. Well, for yesterday's live, which didn't happen, but I want everyone to see that this is real. And I thought I had it pulled up. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna just go to the website that um 'cause you're gonna hear some things. Sorry, y'all. What is that? Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to. Where is this audio coming from? Uh, do y'all hear audio? Let me know if you hear some audio. I hear something with restless leg syndrome, and I'm trying to get out of it. Give me a second, y'all. I know I'm gonna have to edit that out. I'm sorry, y'all. Give me un momento, y'all. Un momento. Let me find out where you don't hear any sounds? Okay. Because I hear it on my end. So if someone hears sounds, let me know because I need to get it out the background. Because I still hear it. It's a video playing, but all my tabs are closed. Nope, nobody hears it. Oh Lord. I know y'all hear that. Give me a second, y'all. Okay, I found it. I found it. Okay, so listen, back to number two. Stop relying on old and outdated information. Um, Make sure it's current. Make sure you are looking at the most. I think you should be able to hear me now. Yeah, I had it on mute. Hopefully, you can hear me now. S- Give me a one if you can hear me. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me, please. You should be able to hear me. I'm gonna um, keep going. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Thank you. So yeah, so stop relying on old and outdated information. More and more people, and like I said, I'm gonna go over some comments in a second. I have to open them back up, but yeah, it is absolutely a waste of time for you. It will be a waste of money if you don't use the most current information, and also not taking time to review the specifics as it relates to each consulate. And I will go over that as well. I will walk you through like how to find a consulate and what to look for, but not taking the time to I just need to make a note to go back to that. Yeah, not taking the time to review the details of the specific consulate, not just any consulate, the specific consulate that you are going to. Just like I mentioned about relying on old and outdated information, some of these videos that you're watching are not specific to the consulate that you are applying at. And each consulate has different requirements or very well may have different requirements. Some may have very similar or the same, but overall, most of the consulates have different requirements. And the requirements may mean financial solvency requirements, the type of paperwork you need to bring, how you need to schedule your appointment. All of these things play a factor in distinctions between each consulate. So you do not want to go to consulate A with the requirements that consulate F has listed on their website, because A and F do not match. They don't equal. So A can easily deny you residency, and there's nothing you can do about it. You were in the wrong in that process. And I, again, this video is really because I know so many of us that are out here looking to get residency, especially in 8 specific places. And if you have the From Here to There resource guide, you know what those 8 places are. And so on this channel and through this platform, I'm trying to provide simple solutions to make your research process and your entry into that country um, as seamless as possible. And so making sure you take the time to review the consulate that you are going to, not the one that you wanted to go to, not the one that your friend went to, not the one that your family member went to. The consulate that you are going to is the consulate that you need to pay close attention to. And so if you want me to go over, because I don't want to assume that you want me to, but if you want me at the end of this video to go over, what how to find the requirements at a consulate, how to, review their website, put a um, put consulate in the comment section. Just put consulate, and I will go over that at the end. And then number 4 is believing that you can do what it is you want to do at that consulate and still get approved. And that, again, the things that I am seeing are mind-boggling once you dig deep into why people were denied, have been denied. And I am in a plethora of communities and groups and WhatsApp groups with both applicants, facilitators, um, everything, all the things that are related to Mexican residency. And so believing that you can say, well, you know what? This place wants me to have notarized documents, but that's going to take too long. Or this bank won't allow me. They said they won't notarize. Listen, in a lot of ways you are going to have to be creative if it's something that you want. And I always use the example, if somebody said, if you come to me with these 5 things, no strings attached, all I need for you to do is these 5 things, and I will give you $1 million, $10 million, whatever $1 million. I promise you, you will do those things on that list as they are instructed. You will not say, okay, they told me to do 5 things, but I don't have time. So I'm going to just do these 4 things and think you're going to get the results or think you're going to get the money. Though that's the hyper focus that I talked about in another video. So I see people say consulate, so I'll do consulate at the end. A review of the consulate application at the end. So yeah, be hyper focused in your quest to get these residencies. And once again, I'm talking Mexican residency because that's where my experience lies. That's where I have proficiency in. But what I'm saying, the things that I've said, from the haste makes waste to relying on outdated information to not taking the time to review the requirements at the specific consulate that you're going to, as well as not bringing all of the required documents that that consulate has listed that you need, are ways that you can very well and more than likely will be denied. I know we desperately want to get out of here. I get it. I get it. But I get it so much that my calendar for consultation calls was closed after tomorrow. I am going to open it back up for anyone interested. It's up to you, but we'll get to that in a second. Um, because I am tired of seeing these people flying. Some people are flying. It's called consulate hopping, for those of you that don't know. But because they may not meet a certain economic solvency in this state or this city, they will fly to a city where they do meet the economic solvency, but they have still not paid attention to every other requirement in that state's in that city's at that city's consulate. And so all they're looking at is, okay, I meet the financial requirement, but everything else that they require, you're not checking the boxes. You are still basing the rest of the required information on the consulate that was closest to you. And so again, there are just so many people. There's just so many people not dotting their I's and crossing their T's. So, and believing that you can alter any of the requirements will get you a big fat rejection on your visa process, um, visa application. And another area that people are not paying attention to is the amount of time that it takes each consulate to provide the visa in your passport. You cannot change that. One consulate, you may get the visa the same day. Another consulate, it may take a week. As of the end of last year, end of 2024, the New York consulate is taking 2 weeks. When I got my residency at the New York consulate, it was 1 week. Before the year before that, it was the same day. So you have to know which consulate you're going to, do the research on how long it may take, because if you fly to another state and you think you may only be there for a day and you have your return ticket to come back because the consulate in your city can provide visas in the same day, you will be messed up. We had someone in our Flawless GEMNATION private membership share with us that she got her permanent residency on Tuesday. On Tuesday of this week past, she was in the Raleigh office. She got her residency, but this is after the second time she had to go back. So she went. It wasn't a complete waste. She then just had to bring some more documents that were required. But again, luckily, she's not too far from the Raleigh office. Imagine that being you flying into another state only to realize that you don't have all of the documents required, but you thought you were only going to be there for a day and you're going to get your visa and go home. Now you're mad at the Mexican consulates and giving up and saying, oh, I'm done. And so again, we celebrated her. I don't know if she's here today, but she probably doesn't need to be here today because she has her residency. So yeah. Um, and again, if you want to join the Flawless private membership, I keep forgetting to say this. We meet once a week. We're having a game night on a game day on Martin Luther King's birthday as a way to divert our attention from what's going to be, on Monday. So the game day is Monday. Our weekly meetup is on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link is in the description. Feel free to join the Flawless private membership. We're unfiltered there. We talk about anything and everything. And that's why we were on for 4 hours and 15 minutes on Thursday. But we had everything from nurses. I mean, it was just such a good time. We had a good time. And the time flew by. You don't have to stay for the whole time. And then you get a replay. You'll get a replay that'll be available for a week for you to review in case you can't stay for the whole thing or in case you can't make it. Let's see. So yeah, don't think that you're going to go to the consulate and tell them that documents that you're going to give them or alter any of the other information. You can't say, oh, well, I have a plane ticket. I have a flight back home tomorrow. I can't stay. Can you get my visa? Can I get my visa today? Yeah, no. No. And especially with these consulates being inundated, not understand. Consulates just don't deal with visa requests and applications. All of these deportations that are expected to start on Tuesday, they are, there are a lot of Mexicans here that have questions about their status, and the consulate is where they go for help. And so these places are busy. booked and busy. So you are definitely not at the, top of their totem pole. So we're going to get into the fifth and the final thing. And that leads into why I decided to reopen my calendar for at least the next few weeks. Is not hiring, knowing yourself, right? First, that's where it stems from. Knowing yourself, and if you need help in these areas, or you can do it on your own. And if you can do it on your own, God bless you, do it on your own. And that's why I'm going to take you also um through the consulate websites, and I'm gonna get into questions in a second. I'm gonna take you through the consulate's website so you can see how to start, but also also knowing when you need help and or accountability. And some people need that. And I'm one to pay for it any day, every day, especially if it's an area where I have questions and I want to position myself in the best way possible for approval and not to waste my time, right? And that's what it boils down to, not wasting time. And so, not hiring help when necessary, both here in the US as well as um, in Mexico to finalize the process. Now, some of y'all know my story. I did my process in Mexico by myself, but I had time. I was there for months. So, and it took a while for me to get the process done. Had I known, I mean, I'm kind of glad I did what I did because I had the time. But if I was only there for 2 weeks, I would have been SOL. I would have been SOL. But if I would have hired somebody, I would have not been SOL. So knowing when you need to hire somebody. So I hired somebody for the renewal process. I did it on my own because I wanted to understand the bureaucracy as somebody who plans to spend a lot of time in Mexico. I wanted to understand what the bureaucracy was like, how to get through the process, how I could, how my Spanish would how my Spanish would either help or hinder. And so yeah, so anyway, knowing when to hire somebody is critical. If you are the type of person that you're always packing right before your flight, or you're the type of person that procrastinates until the last second, hire you somebody. Hire, especially if you want to get this done quickly, or if you want to get it done without having to do a do-over, hire somebody. And so that is why I opened my account. Well, I didn't officially open. It will be open as soon as this live is over. I will open my calendar for the next few weeks. Yeah, for the next few weeks. Yeah, I have a lot going on, but I definitely, like I said, and if it's not specifically to walk you through the Mexican residency process, I have also just consultation calls to help you decide maybe the country is that you want to go to help you decide if you even want to leave the country, if you want to just leave the state. So I have general coaching calls, and then I have Mexican residency, how to get your Mexican residency strategy calls. And those I will open the calendar as when this live is open. And it just was something that was put on my heart to do again. I knew last year, towards the end of last year, it was going to be busy, busy, and it has been busy, busy. Like I had a consultation call this morning. I have one tomorrow. I have a follow, like, so it's been busy, but it's been a blessing to help and see how many people I have been able to help. And this, since I opened the calendar back up the end of last year, everyone that has booked a consultation call and has had their appointment already, or didn't even have an appointment, thought they couldn't get an appointment, but we got an appointment and they got approval. And so again, this is really for me to impart some of the gems that I am aware of, some of the resources that I am aware of, where you can find out exactly what is happening today, yesterday, in real time, for you to be able to make the best decisions in the area that's right for you. So meaning the city or state that's right for you. And so, yeah, not hiring help when it's necessary, and making sure that you dot your I's, having someone to be another set of eyes to help you dot your I's and cross your T's. And some people just simply need more hand holding. Some people need accountability. Some people need more hand holding through the process, especially when it comes to the specifics, right? Um, and so what do you get with a consultation? Consultation, you get an hour, the first hour and with me, and then you get another 10 to 15-minute follow-up call. You also get a complimentary copy of the How to Get Mexican Residency Resource Guide, which includes, let me just open that up, which includes a list of all of the consulates in the US with clickable links. I need to open that anyway so I can so I can click the link and walk you through. Here it is. So you get a list of Mexican consulates in the US with clickable links for direct access. You get a explanation of what the role of the consulate is as it relates to residency. You'll get a at a glance map of the United States consulate so you can see visually, okay, so I'm close to this place, but this place requires that I have this amount of money, but I don't have this amount of money. So what's next? What's closer to this place? Let me check to see if, I meet those requirements. So it's an at a glance map of the US. You get instructions on how to book your appointment at a Mexican consulate. You also get um, a breakdown of what financial solvency is, recent articles about Mexico and the US and our history, right? What is our history? Because I think a lot of times people don't understand our complex history with Mexico. They don't understand what states that are now part of the US used to be part of Mexico. They don't understand the borders and how and what the border laws and changes have been over the past, let's say, 100 years. And so there's some information about that and some other additional interesting facts and resources that you can link to. And so, yeah, so that's what's inside the Mexican residency, how to get Mexican residency consultation guide. And so let me get into some questions and then I will walk you through the video, not the video, the consulates. I said hi to Crystal, Larunda. Hey, Mari. Oh, Crystal had a question. There are countries that you can travel to without a visa for that country. You can only stay 30 to 90 days. I'm looking at that route and just jump around. Understand those are changing. So just do your research before you make that plan, because as we went over on one of our lives, there are many countries that didn't used to require visas that are now requiring visas. We went over that a couple weeks ago, and even if they're not requiring visas, they are requiring you to apply before you get there. And the application process can be anywhere from same day immediate to they need more information. It could take up to 30 days, 28 days. You may need to do another interview, and that's the UK, right? That was the UK. And some of the EU countries, many of the EU countries are now requiring pre-registration and visa. And so, or will start to require, I think this targeted date is May 2025. But yeah, so before you know, bet your laurels that and that also means even if you're flying through that country. So we're not just talking about if you are going to that country. If you are flying through that country for a connecting flight, you still have to apply for these and pay. So just be aware of that. Hey Mari, I have had my appoint I had my appointment on 110 at 8 a.m. for Mexican residency on 113. I got an email letting you. Yay, good, good, good. Good. You were lucky because as of I want to say this week, it took another family 2 weeks to get their email letting them know. But congratulations, Mari. Wonderful. So next step is getting that Kanye transferred over for your residency card. Congratulations. I am so happy. Hey, M. Dickens 811. Hey, Patricia. Hey, Shell. Yes, good to see you. Yeah, y'all had me up way past my bedtime on Thursday, boy. Oh, goodness. Melissa wants to know, will a short-term stay at an Airbnb meet their well, again, it's not one size fits all. So you would have to either do some digger deeping based on the consulate. Good. Yes, WM is the one we celebrated on Thursday, getting her permanent residency at Raleigh. Yes. I'm so happy. I am so happy. Hey, Casper 330. Hey, Cynthia, good to see you. Hey, Sherry. Okay, Cheryl Johnson. Hey, hello, all. Okay, so, oh, I know I saw it. I heard some consulates make you pay extra to move your application along, even with all required documents. I wish there was, that's bribery. That's illegal. That is not, I would never, ever, ever, ever. You are literally bribing a government official. Rather, you could play if there's any. So there's two things that I don't ever offer in my consultation, and that is breaking the law. And this is an area of breaking the law. You only need to pay $54 in the US for your application fee. Period, exclamation point. No other monies should be exchanged. Anything over and above that is called a bribe. Anything over and above that, both parties can be in trouble. Let's just say that. And so, whoever is telling you that, Teo, um, I will not co-sign that. Just like I don't co-sign the RNE program where if you overstay your visa by 1 day, you can apply for residency just for the fact that you are now an illegal alien, basically. You are an illegal alien in that country. And they have done sweeps knowing that people are now trying to use that program for residency to cut corners so they won't have to prove that they have financial solvency and whatever the things are. So they are using that as a shortcut, so much so that people are now going to Mexico asking the immigration office, please only give me 5 days on my visa or 3 days on my visa. and some are obliging. But guess what? On your way to that immigration office, they are now having sweeps. And if you overstay your visa by 1 day, one day, you are now illegal. And they are sweeping people, arresting them, putting them in what I would deem concentration camps. They're not really concentration camps, but they're putting them in jail for up to 2 weeks. And then they're sending you home to never enter the country again. And so those are two areas and two shortcuts that I will say, don't do it. It's not worth the risk. It's absolutely not worth the risk. Hey, WM, oh, you went to Atlanta and then North Carolina. Okay. Can you go to the consulate and get your passport instead of mailing it? Can you go to the consulate and get your passport instead of mailing in? Can you go to the consulate to get your passport instead of mailing in? I'm not sure what that question means. You have yours, but you're encouraging your friends to get hers and her families. Oh, not the consulate. Wait, to get your regular passport? I'm confused. I don't know if you could clarify what you're talking. Are you talking about just your passport or your residencies? Yes, yes, T. Gaynor Jennings. If you need professional help, pay the money for help. Don't waste your time and fumble the process. I see so many people doing it. Listen, I understand not everybody can afford to pay for help, right? So if you can't, please do your research. As much research as you can, take your time with it. But even still, there may be some things that you may not be aware of, right? That you may need help with. And um, so yeah, I agree with you, T Gainer, 100%. If you can, please do. It will literally help the process along. Hey, Nine Frederick. Tell you, you've heard it's happening at the DC consulate. Yeah, that's illegal. They're seeing there's predator and there's prey, plain and simple. They see the desperation in people's eyes, and these people at the consulate that are doing this, they're breaking the law. They're breaking the law. And I promise you that the heads of the consulate, unless I don't even want to say that, but yeah, y'all both are breaking the law. Your bribe, it's a bribe. It's plain and simple. Yep, you agree. Potentially getting locked up in a Mexico. No, thank you. And I'm gonna read. This just happened to someone's daughter in December, I think it was, and she had to spend 14 days. 14 days. Um, 14 days in a Mexican prison eating tortillas. I'm going to read that. I'm going to read that in a second. Yeah, M. Dickens, the consulate doesn't process the application for passports. That's you talking about the Department of State, U.S. Department of State. Yeah, that's where you get your, and there's a whole video on the channel where you can see the process. If it's a new application, it's very different than if you're renewing. And so um, if you're looking to get a new passport, then just go to travel.state.gov website. It's travel.state.gov. Look at the application and the requirements, and it lays it out. Okay. What is the cost to get professional help? Cheryl, are you talking about from me or are you talking about in general? If you're talking about from me, let me put the link. Um, it varies from person to person, right? So, and their offers vary from person to person. Let me try to get the link real quick. And like I said, the calendar is not open yet, but I'm gonna open it as soon as, and anyone who's listening today will have a different link. Well, the link that I'm sharing right now will be the link to use because I'm also doing a $25 off discount through January. And this is because, let me tell you about my God. I was supposed to be doing some volunteer work on Monday for Martin Luther King's Day, but we have a snowstorm coming tomorrow. And so the volunteerism that I plan to do has been canceled. And so this is my act of service. This is my act of service, or one of my acts of service. I just put in the link for the Mexican residency strategy call, and you can get, right now it is $297, and that comes with the complimentary copy of the the guide to Mexican residency strategy. Excuse me, the guide to Mexican residency book, phase one, here in the US, with all of the clickable links, all of the other information that you'll need, additional resources and communities and forums that you should join that are not publicly known. And so, yeah, so it's $297 standard. It will be $25 off of that when I activate the link again. So, and that's, for anyone who's listening today, there will be another standard link that will be publicly posted. So I just added the link in the description. Save that link because that's the one that's going to have the $25 off. Okay, Tayo, and then we're going to get into the consulate in a second. I'm gonna go see if there's any more questions, and then we'll get into the consulate. Um, I agree with you, Kim. It's definitely bribery. If you can't speak Spanish, they use that against you to get over on you. Exactly. I mean, just play by the rules, and it keeps, I don't know, the StreamYard is gonna have to go. I was trying, but yeah, just play by the rules, please. Play by the rules, dude. There's no need, and they understand the desperation that people are feeling based on the changing of the guards, and some people are going to take advantage of that. And so do not do, and the way they're positioning it, if you don't understand that it's a bribe, but just like everything else, ignorance is not a defense. When you commit a crime, you're supposed to know the laws. And the only price that you should be paying at the consulate in 2025 is $54. Last year it was 53. Hey, just one. Hey, just one and her hubby are part of the Mexican residency. Kim with the Gems tribe. um So I do have, I mentioned earlier, Cynthia, I said I do different consultations. Well, two. So I have the Mexican residency strategy calls, and I also have just a coaching call. And I will open that up as well. I'll put a link in the description because that calendar, it was closed too, I think. That calendar may still be open actually. Because I do some other coaching with other people, everything from the 28-day challenge to, oh no, today's the Sunday's the last day you could book an appointment, but I'm going to open it back up. So um and I'll put the link in the description below. And I'll email it to everybody. Since you're part of the GEMNATION membership, the Flawless membership community, I'll email to everyone there too, my links. So, oh, you're welcome, Crystal. Okay, so Miss P says I applied it. Yes, good, good, good. They didn't try to bribe you. Good. Thank the Lord. And I think yes, just one also got hers at the DC consulate as well, and that went seamless. So Yep. What's for you is for you. Don't risk your freedom. 100%. 100%. So I quickly want to go through the consulate. I'm going to pull up the website for, let me see, maybe I'll do DC since two people already mentioned DC. Just give me 1 minute to pull it up. And we'll walk through finding. Okay. So let me share the screen. Hold on a second. If you have any more questions, oh my gosh, good. Just one is going back with her sister next week. Yes, that's right. Listen, now is the time because I do believe there's a couple things that I believe, but I may be very wrong. So this is just my belief. I believe that Mexico is going to have to start cracking down, so to speak. Um, because the influx of requests from, and it's not just the US, it's Canada, it's Brazil, it's people from all over that are trying to flee whatever political climates that are not in line with whatever their beliefs, right? And so um there are going to be more and more applications. They're going to need more and more um they're going to need more and more restrictions so that their countries are not overwhelmed and flooded and displacing all of their citizens and the ones that will be also sent back, right? And so there's going to have to be some types of checks and balances. And so I believe there's going to be more restrictions put in place. And we just need to be prepared for it. So now is the time. I mean, if you can, right? I'm not saying if this is part of your goal, right? And again, it doesn't matter if it's just Mexican residency or any other type of residencies. The There are places that are going to become in high demand, um, and they're going to get inundated and flooded, and now is the time if you can. So I'm going to have to give me 1 second because I'm using uh what you call it, what is this called? Firefox. Let me go back to Chrome and try to share my screen because it's not allowing me to. Of course, Murphy's Law, right? Okay. Uh, Hold on, hold on. Okay. So what I can do, because it's not allowing me to share my screen or enter or on another platform, I'm not trying to use the camera. Give me 1 more second and then I'll get to questions. StreamYard Studio, that's where I am. Allow. This browser can't access, try capturing a different screen. Yeah, so I guess Firefox is not allowing me. So what I'm going to do is, what I'll do is as soon as I'm going to do a quick walkthrough. I kind of want to do another live. So if y'all have questions, you can ask, but it is not allowing me to. It's saying Firefox is not allowing, it's not picking up the extra screen. And sorry about that. I just thought I'd be able to do it like I did in every other platform. So what we can do, I'm gonna go through some more questions. If you want to come back, I'm gonna get out of this and come right back live. Literally come right back just or from Chrome and uh walk you through the the consulate. So yeah, I did want to also read just some of the comments that I have read about what's happening if for people who are getting denied. And I'm gonna start off reading the situation where someone's daughter literally had to spend 14 days in a concentration camp. And that's what I'm gonna call it. And then there was also someone's mother. She came from Jamaica, who the same thing. She didn't even get to, she was going to visit her daughter, who is a resident of Merida, and they just denied her visa entry. So you cannot bank on just having a visa to get you in the country. And when I say a visa, I mean a non-residential visa, because they at any time they can deny you 180 days, they could not deny you 30 days, they could deny you entry. It is all at the discretion of the immigration officers. And so never bank on just being a tourist or resident to, keep you safe. And this is what they are saying in is happening in Mexico right now. It was so heartbreaking. Okay. Oh, is this it? Oh, and another thing that happens, also be patient because you can go to this is where I was talking about like not change, you can't change what's going to happen at the consulate. If their systems go down, but you're on a timeline, whose problem is that? Like you have to be prepared for anything. Systems are known to go down. Systems are not perfect. And if they take your information and say, okay, well, I need you to come back in 3 days, our systems are down, but their systems don't go back up for 3 days, you have to be prepared for that. So never enter a situation so desperate that you're going to miss all of the important things. And so I'm trying to find, I'm gonna find it, y'all. Okay, here it is. Thank you. So there is a program called the regularization program, and that you can literally um overstay your visa and and hopefully be granted approval. I don't recommend it because of this story. Child, of course, the devil is a liar. I'm trying to find the article. I mean, not the story right now. Hmm. Oh, goodness. Let me just do 14 days. You know what? I'm going to put it in the community tab. I don't want to waste y'all time no more because the devil is a liar today. If the devil is a liar. I cannot believe I had all this stuff ready to go. And I'm going to look one more place. And then if not, we are going to just go ahead and, okay. Move on. Yeah, this video will be edited. Goodness. Yeah, it is not letting me find that screenshot or those screenshots. Oh, is this it? Okay, anyway, I'm going to do a whole separate video then. I'm sorry, y'all. I was going to just bring up the article about the woman who, the man whose daughter was detained. But let's just get into, oh, the issues that people don't really talk about, and then we're going to be out of here after I ask some questions. If y'all want me to log back in, anyone who wants me to log back in, just go ahead and put a 2 in the comment section and I'll walk you through the video because I have to log in through Chrome. It won't allow me to switch over. But if you don't, I could do a separate video and just post it um on the page. And so, oh, is this it? Wait, I think I may have found it, y'all. I think I may have found it. Did I find it? Oh, yes, yes, yes. Woo, thank you. So, someone was asking about mixed info about what kind of expired visa you can have to apply for temporary residency through the regularization program. And usually it's you've had to have entered the country at least one time before 2022. I think they've upped it so one time before 2023. And so someone in the groups had their daughter get stopped on their way to the immigration appointment. So she overextended, she overstayed her visa, had an appointment to go to immigration for the temporary visa so she could bypass all of the, or so she thought, bypass all of the rules and restrictions and document proving and all of that, and just get her approval in Mexico. She got stopped on her way. She was at um the bus station, so she was taking the bus to the appointment, just about to board the bus, and there was an immigration sweep. The daughter had a expired FMM, that's the document they give you when you cross the border. Usually it's just land now, but it's a like when you fill out, if you're traveling to Caribbean country, you used to have to fill out a form saying who you were, how you got there, all of that. Well, hers was expired. She went directly to an outside jail in Chetumal for 14 days, eating nothing but tortilla and rice, and was deported shortly thereafter. It is not a laughing matter. And the people are saying, yeah, they don't think this happens, but it is happening more and more frequently. And so I don't ever advise you to break the law. It is just like people complain here about immigrants, or it's the technical term, the real term or technical term is illegal aliens, being here with no documentation. That's the same for us. We can't go to other people's countries and overstay our welcome and expect, for people not to feel a way about it. And so there were, natural citizens saying, good, good. She should have been arrested. She should have been arrested. She should have been put in jail. And so, okay, so that's, and someone else again got denied for not being able to prove, like I said, prove they had a place to live or place to stay. And so, anywho, all right, so let's get into, okay, so I'll do another video. Okay, I mean, I'll come back in a second. Let me just answer a couple more questions and then we'll, oh, it's only one more question. Plan to do part 2 of residency in Mexico in March. Do you think that's too late? No. Mm-mm. No, you already got approved. So the for me, what I believe the urgency is the getting approved, right? So no, absolutely not. You just got approved. So you're fine. You're fine. You're fine because one, you've been approved. You're also fine because March is definitely within the 100. I tell people 150 days, but I know it's technically 180 days you have. No, so you're fine, Miss P. They don't have to waste money on that border. Don't nobody want to be here. That be here, keep us knock them out. Oh goodness. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just recap what I said. Then we're going to go. I'm gonna literally come out of this and then sign right back in. So go to my page, find the live. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just let me go ahead and schedule the live right now so you guys have easy access to the link and there's no questions or complications. But yeah, so oh, I might be able to enter the studio. I think I can now. Hold on. If I can, child, then we're good money. Hold on. Can y'all? Yep, I think y'all can see me. Wait, not yet. Not yet. Y'all can't see me. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Okay, let me come out of this one because there's an echo. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Ahead and recap, and then I'm going to share going through the consulate at the Washington, D.C. Um, okay, perfect. God is good. God is good. I tell you, devil is a liar. Okay. So let's just really recap. Yep, you can hear me. You can hear me. Yeah. So recap. So the 5 reasons why people are being denied or can potentially be denied for their visa, Mexican residency visa application is number 1, y'all are being too hasty. You are not practicing patience and you are literally working out a space of fear a lot of times, and that will cause all of these other 4 things to happen. You rely on old and outdated information. You'll go look at one video that was done 5 years ago or 4 years ago or 3 years ago, and it may not be relevant to today. You are looking at old applications that may have been altered. You are looking at old financial solvency numbers or there's other ways you can get residency, either retirement, I mean, excuse me, through marriage and all of that. So you may be looking at dated information and acting on that. And so when you get to the consulate, here goes the big rejection. You're not taking the time to review the specific consulate and their requirements. and we've talked about how each consulate has a different requirement, and you need to know what those are. Also, um, believing that you can explain why you don't have a particular document that they have required, believing that you can change what the government, right? Even though they're different in each state, right? The requirements, but the government has okay. The government is saying this is not our government, their government is saying these are the documents that are required, but you think you can go about it your own way. And then here comes the rejection and not asking for help when you need it or paying for help when you need it. So rather, it's asking someone you know that knows Spanish or whatever to help you out, or if it's hiring someone like moi, as a consultant to help you on this side with the process, knowing that who you are, people know if they need help in things, people know if they need to have a buddy system or an accountability coach or whatever you want to call it. And so that is why I opened I will be opening the calendar back up as soon as this live is over. And so some people we know can do it on their own, some people can't, but let's just go ahead and get into what the process looks like. Okay. So this is the Mexican residency application. The first thing you want to do is listen. A lot of times, most of the times it's going to start off in Spanish, right? We're on a Mexican residency site. So let's just go to what we see in English. That makes sense. There's also a way to switch on some consulates. You'll see at the top that you can quickly just go to English. But once I go and hit visa, because that's what we're applying for a residency visa. Hold on a second. We are going to see Espanol or English. And we want to check English. And it always starts out with general information, right? So all foreigners, regardless of their nationality, are required to present a valid and not expired passport of travel document when entering Mexico, traveling by air, land, or sea. And right, you still have to have 6 months on your passport in order to get approved on the other side. Just because you may get residency, and when you got the residency, you had 9 months on it, but when you go to Mexico, you only have 4 months on it, they can deny you entry. So these are the things that you need to think about. Is it time to renew your passport? And that's why I'm saying, if you have a year or less, go ahead, renew that passport. Renew that passport. It says here, the Mexican government only requires that your passport is valid during the entirety of your trip. You may not have a return flight, right? So and I always say it is at the discretion of the immigration officer. And if he tells you no, you cannot come to this website and says, nope, it says I'm only going to be here 2 weeks, so you have to approve me. That's not how it works. So always use whatever the standard is as your best practice, right? So let's just get into general information. You can read through all of this other stuff at your own, but this is the general information. All visas are issued by in-person appointment. Walk-ins are not accepted. All appointments are booked through the following link. And so it tells you it's a clickable link. You could go ahead, click right there to book your appointment. We're not going to do that. The appointment does not guarantee the authorization of the visa. We advise not to make final travel arrangements prior to obtaining the visa. Bank accounts under a company name, LLC, INC, S, ETC are not accepted. All accounts must be personal and under the applicant's name. So what it's saying is no business accounts will be part of their calculation of your financial solvency. If you present a document issued from a country different than Mexico or the United States of America, it must come with the apostille or legalization as applicable. And so that's not most of us. So if you have any bank accounts from any place else or any other documents, you have to get it apostilled or some legalization as applicable. The amounts shown are subject to currency exchange rate on the day of your appointment. Please verify the applicable exchange rates. Meaning, if you are at the cusp, like if today you are just meeting what those requirements are, tomorrow you may not, because the dollar and the Mexican peso fluctuate. And so the exchange rate today may be $20, right? So one for every $1 you get 20 Mexican pesos. Tomorrow it may be $16 or $17 or $18, and you may fall below. So these are the types of I's you have to dot, T's you have to cross when you're applying at a consulate. I say never. If you are just at the cusp, applying at that consulate may not be the best decision. You may want to find some place where the requirements are a little lower, just to make sure. If you are granted a Mexican visa, you will be able to travel to Mexico, but it does not guarantee entry into the country. Click here for more information. That's what I'm saying. This is literally at the discretion of, we're not going to go through all of that, but you can click to see what the reasons are why you may be denied, and you want to avoid those. Then they also have a form for frequently asked questions, diplomatic official services for visa, equipment list, all tourist students less than 108, temporary visa, temporary, and we're going to go into temporary visa in a second. So many ways to get a visa. These are all the ways you can qualify for getting a visa to enter into Mexico. And so let's do temporary residency. If you do temporary residency, hold on a second. This is what I just clicked on to the temporary residency. Un momento. Okay, so this is the temporary residency document that you should go through with a red pencil or a yellow or something that will stand out if you have to put your notes on the side and been updated. So right here, I'm noticing it says application fee $53. Nope, it is now $54. So they are a little delayed. I still haven't gotten the official document for financial solvency, but I know what the expected or what the number should look like. So it's telling you all the requirements here. You go through 1 through 6 with a fine tooth red pen and write down everything. And it tells you here, credit or debit card, Visa or MasterCard, application processing fee, $53. I'm just going to drop one gem here for free. Always just have the cash on hand. The actual total amount with them not needing to give you change. So the exact amount, which is $54, have that, because if their credit card machine goes down, that's just another thing that will require you to have to come back. So go ahead, have the cash ready to pay, just in case. And it tells you what's needed. Financial solvency, they give it to you here in Mexican pesos, but you can convert that using, Google. how much is 1,244,650 Mexican pesos? And let me just go ahead and tell you what that is, even though I don't think that's the accurate number right now, to USD. So right now, that is, you can use xe.com, which is very popular. Or you could just use regular Google and find out how much it is. So I'm not going to share the screen. I'm just going to tell you how much it is. $59,857.80 as of today. So that's how much you need to prove that you've had in your bank account for the previous 12 months. And then there's, again, more information that you can read on your own. But I just wanted to show you quickly how to get to the consulate. If you don't want to do a consultation and you just want to get the Mexican Guide to Mexican Residency book, that's under $20. It's in the Beacons page. The link is in the description. You could go ahead and get that, and that has the clickable links that we talked about earlier. And so, yeah, so Ms. P, I get that. But if their machine is down, they probably will accept cash if you have it. So I've read that they only accept debit card and credit card. But my advice is to have your $54 in cash in your back pocket, just in case, because if that machine goes down, and I've heard it time and time again, your only other option is to have to come back when it's up. But if you have the $54, a lot of consulates will then they can accept cash. They just choose not to anymore, right? They can get approval to accept cash if those machines are down for the most part. And so, yeah. And so that is pretty much how you get to the websites. But like I said, if you want to book a consultation, I'm going to open up the calendar as soon as we get off this live. If you only want to get the Mexican residency guide for under $20, which is a great resource for you if you're interested in consulate hopping, you don't have to keep Googling, you don't have to keep going back. Everything is contained, and you could just literally click the link and it will take you to the website. That's available at the Beacons page. Now I will actually add that link because I already added the link for the calendar, right? So let me go ahead and add that link for what is it called? The Guide to Mexican Residency Part 1. I'm going to add that link right now for anybody who wants to use it. It's $14.97. It's under, I said under 20, it's under 15 actually. Oh, thank you, Miss P. I'm going to let me just residency. I'm going to edit this video, so the chat's probably going to be removed. I just put it in twice, but yeah, Miss P got it. Listen, Miss P got it, and Miss P got approved. So yeah, I feel so blessed that she says the guide was perfect, very informative. And again, I just want to be able to reach everybody where they are. If all you need is a resource guidebook to help you in the process, go ahead, get this resource guidebook. If you need a consultation, I'm opening up the calendar for at least the next 4 weeks, let's say 3 to 4 weeks. And so go ahead and book. Many of you know, that's part of GEMNATION. I have to unfortunately go to South Carolina for some time. And I'm just dreading booking because it's where I'm going. It's really, really grump territory. And so I'm trying to wait for some of the, fire to to kind of flame down, hopefully. And so I need to be there in February. And so my calendar is not going to be my calendar. I'll be at the realm of attorneys and courts and stuff like that. So, um, oh goodness. WM got it too. And she's approved. Listen, I'm only coming in because I know of what I speak. I'm not trying to, be braggadocious or anything like that, but I want all of us to win and not waste our time and or our money in the process. And so let me just go through the questions. So yeah, I'm going to open up the calendar. I need to just, because we got the flawless community. Also, if you're not part of the flawless membership, y'all may get some gems in there unexpectedly that I drop in my consultations, but you can join our membership community where we meet once a week, unfiltered. We also will meet once a month to have a fun game night, shoot the breeze, all that good celebratory day. And then you also get 10% off of, new ebooks and stuff that come out. I did mention that I am going to have a link. The link that I shared earlier, let me do it one more time, is the one that's going to have the $25 off. For consultations. And I'm not posting this anywhere else except for this live. That's because you came, you spent time here. And again, you get the 1 hour live. I'm not 1 hour live. You get the 1 hour. Let me copy the link real quick. You get the 1 hour consultation plus a follow-up call. You also get a complimentary copy of the Mexican Residency Resource Guide. And you get some extra resources, a lot of hand holding and gem dropping, or I shouldn't say a lot of, but you get hand holding and gem dropping. And I am also going to take $20 off of the general consultations, but I'm going to do that later. Well, it'll be up soon. It'll be in the description box. So if you're listening to this, try to book within the next 5 days, because that price is really only supposed to be for, you know what? I'm going to add the same link. I'm going to add a different link for the general consultation calls. Okay. I'm talking myself through things. It's not going to be in the link. It's not going to be in the description. It's going to be, this is the Mexican consultation calls first that I'm putting in. That will be $25 off. So you can't book now. And then I'm going to add the link for the general consultation calls. And we will not discuss residency in these, like how to get residency. We will not discuss the specifics on how to get residency. We will discuss anything. This is a strategy call for your life, basically. So whatever that looks like, if it is to move out the country, we'll talk about what countries can definitely make sense for you. We'll go over like websites that you can get more resources, but it's not the same as a strategy call. So Mexican residency strategy call. And so here's the link for a consultation call. And again, only this link will have the $25 off. Typically $199. Mexican strategy call, $20 for the regular consultation call. And so I just put both of those links in. Try to the discounts aren't forever. It's through, I haven't set a date, but it's definitely going to be through next week. And you could book for an advance. We don't have to meet next week. You could take advantage of the discount within the next week and book for further in advance. That's totally up to you. And so let me just go through a few more questions. And then The resource guidebook is just for Mexico. Yes. So this, but then I also have the from here to there. Y'all gotta have me add another link. If you go to the Beacon's webpage, many of you know about the from here to there resource guide, and that is the top 8. Let me go ahead and add that link. Hold on. It's a digital download too with clickable links. Y'all know I'm all about the clickable links. And what it is it's called From Here to There. It's 100 plus websites with clickable links to help you plan your move abroad with ease. And it includes countries, the top 8 countries that many of us are interested in: Canada, Costa Rica, Kenya, Mexico, Panama, Portugal, South Africa, and the United Kingdom. And we know that planning your move abroad can be complex. It requires meticulous organizations and resourcefulness. So this ebook was compiled with a list of online resources that can assist you in making your transition and your decision making as smooth as possible. And so it includes everything from visa information to housing, to job search, to cultural assimilation and financial planning. Again, this is the book if you're not sure where you want to go, but one of these places sound kind of okay. You can go ahead and look at this. I mean, you could get this one. But the Mexican Residency Resource Guide is all things Mexican residency. Okay, so I've included the link for booking a consultation call with me specific to Mexican residency that will have $25 off the standard fee, the standard consultation call or the general consultation call. And even this is the consultation I use for my people, I have a community investing for independence. This is the same consultation calls that I use for them. It's an hour. Oh, no, it's not an hour. It's 45 minutes, I want to say. But then we do a follow-up check-in. And then I also included the link to the Mexican Residency Resource Guide, which is $14.97. The From Here to There Resource Guide, which includes 8 countries, which is $17.97. So you can go ahead. You got all the resources for anyone who's interested in making that move abroad. You have other resources that you could tap into. Again, I just want to make sure people stop wasting their times and getting denied. I'm seeing more and more, and I didn't go through all of the denials that I'm reading and the reasons why, but people are literally trying to do shortcuts. Americans are being Americans, right? Americans are thinking, oh, it's just Mexico. And I'm not talking about us, like us. A lot of other people are just like, oh, it's just Mexico. I make a whole bunch of money, please. But if they ask, I don't care if you make $10 million a day, if they're asking you for notarized documents from your bank, you better bring those notarized documents from your bank. Like, it's just that simple. But, you know, our entitlement definitely has us thinking we don't have to do all the things that need to be done. And I truly didn't mean to be on this live this long. But I got to get ready. We get a snowstorm tomorrow. I got to get some exercise in, and then I need to get some shopping done, and then some work done. But you have all of the resources that are available. Oh, good. Shalonda, her nephew and his girlfriend plan to move to Mexico. I hope they do too. We didn't even talk about the news today. I need to bring back that once a week catch up because, yeah. Yes, because I went through it, also have a bank reference on a letter for each account. Yeah, and a lot of us are like, well, All my banking is online. There's still ways to get documents. And let me tell you something, there's also ways to create documents. Make it easy for people. Make it easy for people at the bank. If you think it's going to be a challenge, make it easy. You draft. That can't just be some old willy-nilly letter. Like, if you need help drafting a letter to your online bank, book a consultation. We will definitely get you through that, and take it in there to them, and it will self-explain, because a lot of these bankers, this is new to them, right? Especially in a lot of communities where they didn't see this type of influx before. A lot of these bankers, these young bankers, they have no idea what they're signing. But if you make it simple for them and tell them why you need this notarized or whatever, most banks have notaries. It should not be that complicated. We just don't a lot of times know what to do or know how to take that extra step. In North Carolina, I had to have the past 6 months of bank statements with bank stamp and bank business card. Yeah. So again, there is stapled to the first page of each month. Each consulate is going to tell you what you need to do, and you better do it. And this will definitely avoid you being denied. Yeah, I mean, I do believe having cash, we talked about that. I don't believe in not having any cash on you, because without cash you can't do nothing. If nothing else, if you could get to the border, walk to the border, if you could pay for some gas using cash, if electricity, the systems go down, let's just say that. So yes, I got anxious too, but I pulled back and write things down to remind myself what needs to be done. Exactly. 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 We can't, that's what I was just saying. I didn't even see that. We can't bring our privileged attitudes to other countries. You get kicked out if you bring your American attitude well, I don't know if you'll get kicked out, because there's a lot of Americans and Canadians in Mexico with their privileged attitudes. But, it's just, when you're going through the process, you can't. But once you get there, listen, one of the reasons I'm not a fan of Puerto Vallarta, I met too many overprivileged people that were talking too condescending to people. Like, I just, um, yeah, I'm just making sure I didn't miss any questions before we sign off. Yeah, I think that's it. Well, thank you everyone for joining. Um, Tomorrow I will be a guest on from Lifting as We Climb YouTube channel at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow I am super busy. I have a lot. I have 2 confirmed consultation calls. One, because tomorrow was supposed to be my last day of consulting for some time, because I was supposed to be in South Carolina. And I have 2 confirmed. One, I'm waiting to confirm their time. So 2 are confirmed. One is a confirmed but pending time. Then doing the live on for Lifting as We Climb at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our next live on this channel will probably be on Tuesday, because if you're not part of the Flawless membership, go ahead and join that. I should have put the link for that too, but the link is in the description. Flawless membership. It's on the Beacons channel. We're meeting on Monday afternoon. Check your emails for the link to the Zoom. And then Tuesday, we'll probably be back live. So, okay. Yes, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Whoever's in the path of this storm, get your milk, get your bread. I got to get my vegetables and I'm not supposed to be eating fruits, but I did eat fruit twice this week, because I could tell my energy was too off. I needed to work. But yeah, I got to go get my organic fruits and vegetables before they sell out. So I'm headed to Trader Joe's, and after I may go to Trader Joe's first and then work out. So if you're in the path of the storm, be safe. And I will see all of my regular people, my live community on Tuesday. I will see my flawless community on Monday and also again on Thursday. Be ready to play some games. We have some giveaways and all that good stuff. And so I will see everyone on. Hey, love you too, girl. Thanks, everyone. And thanks for the support. Everyone who's already purchased, one of the ebooks. Again, I keep the cost so low because I want people to have access. So if you can't do a consultation, if you don't need a consultation, but you just need a little bit of guidance, you have resources. This is Kim with the Gems. I want this to be a place you can come for all types of resources. I'm going to build the library for things as they come along. And I just want us to stay ready so we don't have to get ready. And whoever's new here, there's free resources at the Beacons channel too. So go peruse through the Beacons page. The link is in the description. Get you some of the free resources, like the Stay Ready certification programs that gets, oh no, that's a paid one. But there's some other free resources. Anyway, let me go ahead and say good afternoon, good day from wherever you are, and I will see everyone on Tuesday. Take care.